Madam Vice President, thank you for being with us. Polls show that most Americans say President Biden is too old for a second term. Did he answer those questions last night?
He was absolutely on fire, and he answered any question that anyone might have about how passionate he is, how prepared he is, how principled he is to take on second term as president. And I thought that he did a spectacular job. He hit a number of important issues that I think are on the minds of the American people. One, answering the question about what do we stand for? Who are we? And what kind of country do we want to live in as Americans? So he started that conversation by talking about history and the role of the United States of America when it comes to standing with our friends like Ukraine and doing the right thing. He talked about our accomplishments, that we, again, with not one Republican voting for it, were able to cap the cost of insulin for our seniors at $35 a month. We've capped the cost of prescription medication for seniors at $2,000 a year. And in the second term, we intend to have that cap apply to everyone, not just our seniors. I thought he did a spectacular job and answered a lot of important issues that I think are on the minds of the American people.
Let me ask you about one key issue right now. There are reports that 5 people in Gaza have been killed by airdropped packages today. Were those packages dropped by U.S. military planes? And does this incident make you rethink this operation?
The information is still coming in about that, so I can't give you any answer yet, but I'm happy to talk to you about it later.
Let me ask you then, you said there's no daylight between you and President Biden regarding the war in Gaza, but a number of voters, progressives and young voters, say they're displeased with just calling for a temporary 6-week ceasefire. What do you say to those Democrats who are demanding a permanent ceasefire?
Listen, we all want this conflict to end as soon as possible, and how it does so matters. We have been clear that October 7, where there was a massacre of 1,200 people, young people attending a concert, women were raped in a horrific way, rape being used as a tool of war. Israel had a right to defend itself. It has a right to defend itself. We would have done the same. But how it does so matters. We've been very clear. Far too many Palestinians have been killed. We have been clear. Humanitarian aid needs to get in. And we need a ceasefire for 6 weeks so that we can get the hostages out, get aid in. And I've been very clear, as has the president, that ultimately not only do we all want this conflict to end, but we have got to be committed to a two-state solution. The Palestinian people deserve, in equal measure with the Israelis, to have security, and they deserve to have dignity and self-determination. And that is the work that we are doing around the clock.
Let me ask you about immigration, if I can, right now. Knowing that Republicans are not going to support the bipartisan border security bill right now, and there's an expectation there'll be a surge of migrants this spring, why not take executive actions right now to crack down on the border crisis?
Well, let's take a step back. First of all, we all know the immigration system needs to be fixed, and it is broken. And on day one, when we came in as an administration, within hours practically after our inauguration, the first bill we offered was a bill to put in place a comprehensive pathway towards citizenship. But it's not been taken up. Fast forward to months ago, when over the course of months, conservative Republicans, progressive Democrats came together in a bipartisan way to offer a solution which we supported and we were a part of. But what happened? The former president told the leadership of the Republican Party in Congress, don't put it on the floor for a vote, because he has been very unapologetic and clear. He'd prefer to run on a problem instead of fix a problem. Solutions are at hand. And
respectfully, Madam Vice President, the Republicans,
even if leadership.
Respectfully, Madam Vice President, Republicans obviously are following the word of Donald Trump.
That's about fixing problems.
Given the Republicans aren't going to fix those problems,
and that's why he's going to lose
Democrats,
in November.
Why not do it by executive order?
We have a lot of work to be done, but let us not negate the role and responsibility of leaders in Congress who have been elected to be in Washington, D.C. to fix problems. We know there is a broken system, and we have at hand an opportunity to fix it. And they're playing political games, and we cannot overlook the significance of that.
Let me ask you 2 last questions, if I can. Republicans have repeatedly mocked the president's age, and they've cast you in an unflattering light as the person who would take power if anything were to happen to him. So how do you respond to that, and how do you convince American voters that you would be ready?
Well, first of all, I think that if there is any question about the President Joe Biden's ability to do the job and do it well and do it with vigor and passion, last night dispelled any of that in terms of any notion of that. He is committed. He is passionate. He articulated our vision for the next 4 years, which includes what we need to do to raise federal minimum wage, to extend the cap on insulin at $35 a month, not just for seniors, but for everyone. We need to have affordable child care. That will be part of our agenda for the next 4 years. Paid family leave for all workers for the next 4 years. And so we've been clear about what's at stake. Listen, as it relates to me, I'm ready if necessary, but it's not going to be necessary. Joe Biden and I are running together. He is president. I'm running as vice president. In 2020, over millions and millions of people voted for this ticket, and I believe they will do so again.
Mr. Trump has challenged the president to debate him anytime, anywhere, any place. Will President Biden commit to debating Donald Trump?
I haven't talked to the president yet about that, but I'll tell you something. If you want to just look at the split screen to understand what's at stake, on the one hand, you've got Joe Biden, someone who is competent, who is principled, who has accomplished more than many presidents even hoped for, be it on infrastructure, on climate, on health care. And on the other side of that split screen, you've got the former president who glorifies dictators and has said he'll be a dictator on day one. Someone who has said that he will weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies. Someone who has said he is proud of the fact that he handpicked 3 members of the United States Supreme Court who took a constitutional right from the women of America to make decisions about their own body and not have their government tell them what they're supposed to do. The split screen is clear.
Should President Biden debate him, in your view?
That's a choice that is going to be decided upon soon, and we'll keep you posted.
Will you commit to a debate?
Peter, we just got through the State of the Union, and I am just so excited about what we accomplished last night and our president.
Madam Vice President, I appreciate you making so much time to speak to us. Thank you so much. Safe travels on the trail.
Thank you. It's good to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.